African news update on top accolade news. For headlines, Zimbabwe's Geza challenges Mnangagwa'S leadership. Ethiopian Airlines partners with AFDB to build mega airports. South African Airways pilots initiate new industrial action. Somalia and Serbia strengthen diplomatic ties. In politics, Zimbabwe's Geza challenges Mnangagwa'S leadership. Blessed Geza, the expelled ZANU-PF Central Committee member and militant war veteran, has resurfaced, making explosive claims about President Emmerson Mnangagwa'S alleged involvement in the 2020 poisoning of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. Geza, who reappeared in military attire, accused Mnangagwa of betraying Chiwenga, the key figure in the 2017 military coup that ousted Robert Mugabe. In the fiery address, Geza further challenged Mnangagwa's leadership, claiming he was responsible for the death of several military generals during the COVID-19 pandemic and threatening to expose ZANU-PF officials for their past actions. Shifting focus to economy, Ethiopian Airlines partners with AFDB to build mega airports. Ethiopian Airlines has teamed up with the African Development Bank to develop a $7.8 billion project aimed at transforming Ethiopia into a major global aviation hub. Located 40 kilometers southeast of Addis Ababa, the new airport will boost the country's passengers capacity from 17 million to over 60 million annually by 2040, with projections to eventually serve over 100 million passengers. Expected to be the largest airport in Africa, the project is a response to growing demand for air travel in East Africa and is set to significantly enhance Ethiopia's economic development, facilitating trade and tourism across the continent. Still in economy, South African Airways pilots initiate new industrial action. Pilots at South African Airways are set to begin further industrial action over unresolved pay and condition issues that have been under negotiation since May of last year. The walk-to-rule measure announced by the SAA Pilot Association and the National Transport Movement follows a short strike in December. SAA has expressed disappointment, stating that its latest offer, which includes a 3% annual salary increase and other benefits, is comprehensive and favorable despite the airline's financial challenges. New CEO John Lamola emphasized that while the airline is committed to resolving the issue, it has implemented contingency measures to minimize disruptions and ensure operational reliability. Moving to international relations, Somalia and Serbia strengthen diplomatic ties. Somalia's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Serbia's Foreign Minister held a phone conversation to reinforce the long-standing diplomatic ties between their nations, which have lasted for 65 years. Somalia's Minister of Foreign Affairs emphasized Somalia's commitment to advancing its partnership with Serbia, focusing on mutual interests such as economic development and security. Serbia's Foreign Minister expressed Serbia's continued support for Somalia's stability and progress, highlighting the potential for future collaboration. Both leaders agreed that official visits would be key to exploring new avenues for cooperation, marking a new chapter in their diplomatic relationship. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. In conflict, Congo and Rwanda meet for direct talks. The presidents of Congo and Rwanda met for their first direct talks since violence erupted in eastern Congo earlier this year. The meeting, mediated by Qatar, took place in Doha and saw Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi and Rwandan President Paul Kagame reaffirm their commitment to a ceasefire in the ongoing conflict involving M23 rebels. However, while both sides expressed willingness for peace, no concrete steps were outlined. The summit follows the failure of previous negotiations and comes as the humanitarian crisis in eastern Congo continues to worsen. The peace talk aimed to rebuild trust, though a lasting resolution remains uncertain. Still in conflict, airstrike in northern Mali kills 18. In northern Mali, at least 18 people have been killed in an airstrike on a market, with 7 others injured. Various groups have condemned the attack, calling it a barbaric act, while Mali's military claimed it targeted militants in a refuge. The strike occurred in the Timbuktu region, about 30 miles north of Neneb, with both sides offering differing accounts of the casualties. This comes amid Mali's ongoing struggle against armed groups linked to the Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and tensions have escalated with accusations that the army, often supported by Russian mercenaries, is indiscriminately targeting civilians. The situation remains tense as both the military and the separatists continue to clash over Mali's future. Moving to entertainment. 7 Namibian choirs selected for choral competition. 7 choirs from across Namibia has been chosen to compete in the highly anticipated Blended Voices choral competition hosted by the National Theatre of Namibia. The event, which celebrates the fusion of traditional choral music and contemporary Namibian sounds, will feature choir vying for the grand prize of 50,000 Namibian dollars, a floating trophy, and additional awards. With a focus on collaboration and innovation, the event promises to be a cultural celebration of Namibia's rich musical heritage. Now in sports, South Africa Under-20 men's national team gears up for 2025 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. The South Africa Under-20 men's national team is set to begin their preparation for the 2025 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire, with a training camp to start on March 19th. The team will play 2 friendly matches against Botswana on March 22nd and 25th as part of their build-up to the tournament, which runs from April 26th to May 18th. The top 4 teams from the competition will qualify for the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile, giving the South African squad added motivation to perform well in their upcoming friendlies. That concludes our African news updates for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojo Arumi Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.